Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode. My name is JP. I am a semi-truck driver. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I'm sitting here at On Track and wanted to kind of go over some of the pros and the cons of the Peterbilt 579. This is a 2020 model. It was brand new August 2019. Since then, the truck has had 255,785 miles put on it. So I just kind of wanted to cover some of the things that I like and I don't like about it. First, let's go with the switches. There are switches everywhere in this truck. All the light stuff is over here, which is kind of annoying. Then you got like traction control and then a spare, and then you got other light fuses over here. It's all just, and the trailer brakes right here. I mean, I just don't really care for how spread out it is, and it just kind of feels awkward, to be entirely honest. I feel like they didn't really do a great job of getting everything kind of consolidated like you'll see in like Freightliner Cascadias and Western Stars and things like that. One of the things I do like is that it has an outlet here, an outlet here, and it has two outlets here and an outlet here. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of shadowy. And then two outlets up there, and I felt like, hang on, was there one up here? No, there's not one up here. So, okay. So that means there's a total of 1, 2, and then a USB, 3, 4, 5, and a USB, 6, 7, 12 volt outlets. So if you have a lot of accessories to power, tablets, phones, APUs, not APUs, inverters, for like plugging in normal 110 or 120 volt stuff, that's definitely a good thing. So if you have power requirements, then this is definitely a good idea for you. One of the things I don't like is how the storage for everybody that's going to be in the truck was kind of an afterthought. I think this is supposed to be a space for like a microwave or something, and I feel like that's just kind of very poorly utilized up there. I mean, I don't use the upper bunk, so I don't really care. But, I mean, it's just like, you have this tiny little thing here, and it's got one little shelf. And then over here, you've got like two tiny little shelves here. And then you got, I mean, this is kind of a nice feature, like this little pull-out desk thingy or whatever. But then over here, it's just another one of these big cubby things, and then you just got like a big open closet. And it's just like, I'm a person that tries to be organized, and so it's kind of frustrating whenever, you know, you're trying to look for something or put something away, and hopefully it, you know, stays put, or you want to know. I won't necessarily say I'm OCD, but it's like, I've gotten much better about being organized in my life and having things where they should be, and not knowing where stuff is, it's kind of frustrating, and not having any real semblance of organizational, like you'll see again. I know I mentioned Western Stars earlier, but they have like shelves and stuff, so that's definitely a con with this truck, I think. Another con about this is this weird upper bunk situation. It kind of folds in half, and then the mattress folds in half, and the mattress is like this thick. So I imagine that whoever's up top, unless they were to leave this down all the time and get like a more comfortable mattress, would not be too happy. So, you know, there's that. Another thing, and this is personal preference, automatic transmission. I mean, I learned on a manual. I prefer a manual, and I think soon I will be getting a manual, but I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me. Another thing, and I'm sure that you've noticed it by now in my videos, but the Cummins engine is pretty loud. There are other trucks that are louder, no question about that, but I thought, you know, maybe this would be a little bit quieter, but it's not. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? Another thing, it does not have an air release fifth wheel for uncoupling your trailer. Again, other truck models do have this feature, and it is kind of disappointing to see that you still have to get out and reach 2.5 feet to manually undo jaws on the fifth wheel to disconnect from the trailer. One of the pros is the mirrors. They have really, really good visibility all around the truck. They're big, and these are heated mirrors, so when it gets really cold out or it's, you know, icy and snowy out, they do a really good job of getting that melted off pretty quickly. And I do like the single piece wraparound windshield. It provides an excellent field of view for all around you. And the A-pillar, where the front of the door is on the hinge, doesn't have a tendency to obstruct your view very often, if ever. So definitely a plus on that. The thing I don't like, the turn signals don't automatically cancel themselves. You still have to manually cancel them. What is this, 1986? That becomes very annoying very quickly. This one is probably both a pro and a con, depending on how you look at it. But the fuel economy of the Cummins X15 efficiency series, it's about, I would say, on average, high sixes. And I know that Cummins, after the DEF requirements got put into the trucks in 2000, Cummins and even more so Caterpillar had a hell of a time trying to meet those emissions requirements. And, you know, I gotta hand it to them for staying in the game and, you know, keeping on, because Caterpillar, they pretty much said, you know what, screw it, we're done. So, not as good as other trucks in class, but certainly by and large not the worst. And it's got decent power. I mean, it'll bog going up a hill with a full load, but I think pretty much anything will, really. I know that, I mean, I've seen on other trucks, specifically the new Cascadias, get average MPGs in the 10s, so, but it could be worse. I don't really pay for the fuel, so I have no reason to complain. It's just that much more often that I have to fuel up, I guess. But I don't know. Take from them, your trailer is pretty much blocking the antenna. So I think that's probably